Uplifting Athletes lies at the intersection of sports and rare disease. This is what we do.
We can play a role in supporting that research in the community, just as athletes.
We attract next generational talent from all walks of life who are determined to make a difference in the world.
See that something I'm doing is directly helping the rare disease community.
We don't just engage our community, we unify them towards a common goal.
To Tucker, and that is gobbled up by J.D. Bertrand.
The game is changing, and we are rewriting the playbook on how we address research, health equity, and the everyday experience of people impacted by rare disease.
We all have the power to create a brighter future. Are you willing to join our team?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. The team has done such a good job organizing everything. I had the opportunity to write my own remarks tonight, so we'll see how this goes. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me, the Uplifting Athletes staff, and our board of directors for this incredible event. I believe in the concept and driving force behind the Young Investigator Draft because I have seen firsthand the benefits of this future-facing investment in rare disease research. 12 years ago, I was one of the lucky 5% of people diagnosed with a rare disease that had access to an FDA-approved treatment. It was not lost on me that I was the beneficiary of an incredible team of doctors, loving family, friends, and teammates, and I had hope because of a chemotherapy treatment. This chemotherapy treatment was first synthesized in 1980 in a small lab in Birmingham, England, by Dr. Malcolm Stevens and his research students. Dr. Stevens' work at the time was funded by a small charity that believed in providing him an opportunity to pursue his research. Dr. Stevens' lab was much the same as many of the institutions our Young Investigator Draft recipients are working in now. While his research was funded in the early 80s, the chemotherapy was FDA approved nearly 30 years later, just a couple of years prior to my diagnosis of a rare and aggressive form of brain cancer in 2010. I mentioned that I'm one of the lucky 5%. That is because approximately 95% of rare diseases do not have an FDA-approved treatment. This is unacceptable, and this is why we are here tonight. We at Uplifting Athletes believe that action must be taken today so that we have hope for a better tomorrow. Our goal through the draft tonight is to plant seeds throughout the rare disease community by virtue of strategic collaboration with disease-specific patient advocacy organizations to elevate, celebrate, and fund the next generation of researchers. These researchers will be a beacon of hope for those currently living with a rare disease and those yet to be diagnosed. I noted earlier that Dr. Malcolm Stevens was responsible for the eventual treatment which has sustained my life. A couple weeks ago, I had the pleasure of connecting with Dr. Stevens through email. He shared with me that while he has given up long-distance flying in his 85th year of life, he will be watching virtually. Please join me in a round of applause to thank Dr. Stevens, who is tuning in from his home in England. My hope for our draft class tonight is that decades from now, someone has the opportunity to thank all of you for the work that you have started and carried forward that has saved their life. I feel so fortunate to be here with you all tonight, working with a passionate team at Uplifting Athletes, and to have the opportunity to pay forward the good fortune that has blessed me and my family. I understand that what we are doing here tonight is the start of a decades-long journey that we are committed to seeing through. We're excited to present each one of these exceptional researchers with a $20,000 grant, as we are certain that this foundational drop into medical research is capable of making waves and changing lives. Back in 2018, here in this very building, we held our first ever Young Investigator Draft. That night, we awarded 6 $10,000 grants to 6 emerging researchers, including Dr. Fagenbaum, our draft analyst tonight. It was a good investment. I proudly stand before you to share that since the 6 years since the first Young Investigator Draft, we have partnered with 33 different patient advocacy organizations to award 44 different researchers over $820,000 in research under the Young Investigator Draft umbrella. With that, I'd like to thank our sponsors who have generously supported this event. I'm going to need you all to hang on because there's a bunch of them. Our presenting sponsors, CSL Behring, Sanofi, Pfizer, Spark Therapeutics, Takeda Pharmaceuticals, Horizon Therapeutics, the Bennett family, Entrada Therapeutics, Ovid Therapeutics, AstraZeneca, Bank of America, Worldwide Clinical Trials, Ultragenyx Pharmaceutical, and Amicus Therapeutics. Thank you to all of you. We hope that you will continue to support us as we build and invest in the future of this community. I hope you please enjoy the show tonight, and if you're willing and able, please consider supporting Uplifting Athletes by making a donation on our website, or you can scan the QR code on the back of your name badge. Now, please help me in welcoming Debbie Drain, Senior Vice President, Global Commercial Development of CSL Behring, to the stage. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. As Rob said, my name's Debbie Drain, and I'm the SVP of Global Commercial Development at CSL Behring. On behalf of CSL Behring and all my colleagues here this evening, we are very honoured to be a part of this event. First, I want to extend a heartfelt congratulations to Rob and the wonderful team at Uplifting Athletes for the work that they do every day to harness the power of sport to build a community that invests in the lives of people impacted with rare diseases. You can probably tell I'm not a native Philadelphian, but I have lived in the Philadelphia area, lived and worked in the Philadelphia area for many years, and very proud to say there are 2 Australians on the Eagles team this weekend, so go Aussies. But seriously though, for people living with rare and serious diseases, the work these young researchers do, just realised that's pretty high up for me, isn't it? Is just wonderful and really will drive those future life-saving innovations that Rob talked about. As an organisation driven by its promise to our patients, we fully recognise the importance of the work that you're doing, and we're really thrilled to be part of this collaborative effort. And I think we've been here since the very beginning and very proud to do so. The Young Investigator Draft event this evening, well, it's kind of a fun night too. I just got to go out and walk on the Eagles ground and take pictures. I sent them to all my friends and they're going, how'd you get in there? I go, special, very special. More importantly though, this event accomplishes a great deal to honour both rare disease researchers and student athletes. I know at CSL Behring, we can't wait to see the great work that the honorees accomplish with the support they get this evening. What strikes me as particularly special about tonight is the commitment to curiosity that both Uplifting Athletes and all the honorees have. A commitment to a curiosity that keeps moving things forward for the needs of people with rare diseases is at the core of this evening. At CSL Behring, we share a similar curiosity and are driven by our promise to uncover life-saving possibilities for a healthier future. And our commitment in the rare disease space is at the core of what we do. So thank you again to Uplifting Athletes for the amazing work you do, and to the honorees this evening for the excellence they represent in the rare disease innovation space. We're really proud to be standing alongside you in your commitment both to the community here and the continuing support for the needs of people with rare diseases. Thank you.
Joining us for his third Young Investigator Draft is our MC, former NFL linebacker Cam Lynch.
Hey, I'm right here. Round 3, let's go. It's great to see everybody. Everybody's looking good. We're in Philly. Any Philly fans in here? Okay. It's turned up. Well, welcome everyone to the event that you've been waiting for the past 12 months. The 2023 Young Investigator Draft is back. Can I get a round of applause, please? Thank you. I need my clicker here. That's right. So now I'm an interactive MC, that y'all know last year, past 3 years, I'm talking to y'all the whole time. So if you don't mind me asking a few questions up front so we get to know each other just a little bit better. Who here has been to the previous Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Drafts here? Okay, nice. I see a lot of new faces here. Welcome back. I hope everything has gone well since we last seen each other here. And so now we're all friends, united under one cause. Can I get the newcomers to raise their hands, please? Oh, a lot of them. Round of applause, please. Round of applause for the newcomers. It's nice to see y'all, and welcome to the Young Investigator Draft, and welcome to our team here. I call it a team because that's how I see the uplifting athletes and the community they've gathered here tonight. Each and every one of you plays an important role in the rare disease space, whether you are directly impacted or not. For an example, has anyone ever shared this statistic with you? Get ready for this. 1 in 10 Americans are affected by a rare disease. 1 in 10. That's over 30 million people here right in the United States. That's kind of wild if you think about it. I'll bring back another statistic from my buddy Rob's remarks earlier. Approximately only 5% of known rare diseases have an FDA-approved treatment. Let that sink in. That's kind of crazy. 1 in 10 Americans approximately have 5% of an FDA-approved treatment. Looks like we have some work to do tonight here at the draft. So we gather here tonight at the Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Philadelphia Eagles, contenders for the championship title, right? And it's okay if you don't like football, that's all right. It's cool to be in the presence of champions. Am I right, Philly? Am I right? All right. So what's important that you're here tonight to support an organization that is changing lives every single day. They're here as the coach, rewriting the plays on how and why these 10 game-changing researchers are being celebrated for the commitment to meeting an unmet need in the community. That's like our offense kind of out front, ready to take the ball to the end zone, ready to take us into the end zone. So you think about it, these researchers like the Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying, of the Eagles. They're like the Patrick Mahomes. I can't say that too loud in here. I get it. But they're okay, I hear a Patrick Mahomes fan out there, but basically these researchers are the superheroes for us in this rare disease space. So also, fun fact, if you didn't know this, the Super Bowl, for the first time, there's 2 black quarterbacks starting for the first time. That's really cool here. Hand clap. Yeah, we're talking about breaking barriers here, right? So let's get a round of applause for all the heroes being celebrated here tonight. Get another round of applause. If you couldn't tell, we're going to be clapping a lot, so just get ready, y'all. Just get ready. We always do that. And so you may not know this, but we're also welcoming over 50 student athletes from across the country to tonight's program. Can all the student athletes raise their hands, please? Oh, there they go. Okay, there they go back there. Yes. Welcome, and thank you guys for investing your time and your energy into this mission. They spent all day at the Uplifting Athletes Leadership Development Conference across the town and they had to learn what it's like to live with a rare disease and how can they use their platforms to fundraise, raise awareness, and drive change for this community. Can I get a round of applause for the athletes? That's awesome. So these chapters support our team as our defensive lineup, or they secure the bag for the offense, right? Better known as our amazing rare disease researchers. So we couldn't do this without you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy. A lot of love from this end. So now that we have a general idea of who our team is, does anyone know what game we're playing here? And it's not football, by the way. It's not football. We're playing a game of hope. We're playing a game of hope here. So I play for the Rams. I play for the Buccaneers. And in college, I played for Syracuse. Go Orange. Any Orange folks out here? Okay, some Syracuse Orangemen. Nice. But this team in this league, it's a whole different ball game, y'all. And I'm glad to be here with you announcing each play. So thank you again for coming out to celebrate with us in person. And hello to all the folks tuning in at home. So you see I'm looking back here for the folks at home there, right down the middle. And a game isn't fun without fanfare and a crowd. So please, a round of applause for the folks in the house too, please. Awesome. So while I'm your MC of the night, I'm excited to announce my partner, Dr. Feigenbaum, who'll be doing the in-depth analysis of each researcher.
Hello and welcome. My name is David Feigenbaum, and I'm so excited to be with all of you tonight. I'm an immunologist at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm a patient battling Castleman disease that's on a treatment that I discovered. I'm the author of Chasing My Cure, and I'm a proud member of the inaugural class of Young Investigators drafted by Uplifting Athletes. I have the honor of being tonight's draft analyst. We have a talented group of young investigators, and I'm thrilled to be here to break down the science behind their work. If you ever watch the NFL draft, I'll be doing my best to be like Mel Kiper or Todd McShay. So sit back and enjoy. It's going to be a great night.
All right, Dr. Feigenbaum. Dr. Feigenbaum is with us, please. Dr. Feigenbaum, wave your hand to the crowd. He's a little shy, y'all. He's a little shy, but he's the man. He's the man. So, without further ado, I'm proud to announce that the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft is now open. And we're excited to kick off the draft with our first priority partner, the Erdheim-Chester Disease Global Alliance. You are on the clock. And we're also excited to have Joe Panansky, quarterback from Holy Cross, with us to announce tonight's pick.
The Erdheim-Chester Disease Global Alliance is dedicated to the awareness, support, education, and research related to Erdheim-Chester disease. The organization works with a global community of patients, families, physicians, and supporters to raise awareness, provide support and resources, advocate for and support research programs, share educational materials, and educate physicians and the medical community on ECD to increase early detection.
All right, brother Joe Panansky, let's do it. All right, round of applause for Joe. Round of applause for Joe.
How's everyone doing tonight? First off, since we are at Lincoln Financial Field, I would like to say go Birds. Going for number 2. And now with the first overall pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Erdheim-Chester Disease Global Alliance selects Dr. Jimatha Abakun from the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota.
I am so excited about this pick. ECD Global Alliance made a great selection here. Dr. Abakun studies Erdheim-Chester disease and other histiocytic disorders. These are rare diseases where your immune cells, which are supposed to be protecting you, actually cause organ dysfunction and even organ failure if improperly treated. Dr. Abakun's work has been squarely focused on improving treatments and the quality of life of patients, which has included discovering promising repurposed treatments and new treatment approaches as well, including one that is currently being studied in a clinical trial. This is an accomplishment rarely achieved at such an early stage in one's career. And get this, he's also an Eagle Scout. But don't just take my word for it, let's hear what the experts have to say.
He's a very impressive young man, and the research that he's doing, I think, is going to make a big difference and a big impact in the community. He has a unique combination of clinical and laboratory skills, And he's already beginning experience to find novel treatments for histio patients. We're hoping that the project he's working on now especially could pave the clear path forward for better treatments for our patients. Not just our patients, but a lot of patients with rare histiocytic disorders. I think he's going to go far. He's going to go far in the community and make a lot of difference for a lot of patients.
All right, round of applause. Woo! First round draft pick.
Thank you so much. And this is exciting. And I would like to thank everyone, and also especially the Uplifting Young Athlete Association, and also my mentors, who is Dr. Thomas Witzig and Ronald Go at the Mayo Clinic. Most importantly, I would like to thank patients. And I really hope that whatever we do in research will translate to patients to uplift their well-being and also quality of life with longevity. Thank you.
Wow, round of applause for Dr. Abby Kuhn. Amazing, great work. That's our first pick, y'all. And our second party partner, the TBRS community, is on the clock. Faith Davies, goalkeeper from Eastern Illinois Soccer, will join us on stage to announce the next pick.
The Tatten-Brown-Raman syndrome community aims to support all families affected by TBRS and advance research toward interventions.
The pick is in. All right.
With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the association, well, that's the teleprompter.
Yeah, a little teleprompter issues, guys.
That's okay. I'll do my own.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay. With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the TBRS community selects Dr. Zane Awamle from the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto.
All right.
This is a pick that might be more familiar to the fans of the Canadian Football League than to the National Football League, but she is still going to be a game changer for the TBRS community. TBRS is a rare genetic condition involving tissue overgrowth and intellectual disability with no current treatments. Dr. Awamle studies the role that mutations in DNMT3A play in the neurodevelopmental problems observed in these patients. Dr. Awamle has some really interesting hypotheses around what mechanisms underlie TBRS and will utilize next-generation sequencing to investigate this further. If successful, and her strong track record and detailed plan suggest that it will be, this work will help us to know which genetic variants are actually causing problems versus those that are simply normal variation, which is critically important for diagnosis and treatment.
Her project is really going to address an unmet and urgent need in our community. There are a lot of individuals with Tatten-Brown-Raman syndrome who are not diagnosed, and that's for many reasons. One reason is that sometimes the genetic testing comes back with a vague result called a variant of unknown significance. And what her proposal aims to do is to solve those mysteries for families and get them the diagnosis that they need. She is an all-star epigeneticist, and we are so thrilled to have her as our draft this year.
All right. Give it up for the doc.
Good evening. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Uplifting Athletes organization for the important work that they do and for putting together this wonderful night. But really, I would like to dedicate this to all rare disease families. Throughout my career, I've had the unique and pleasure to meet so many rare disease families. And your perseverance, your commitment, and your compassion is what inspires me to do this work every day and what inspires so many. Without your commitment to this work and your compassion, it would not be possible. So thank you. Onwards and upwards.
All right. Round of applause there for Dr. Awamle. How inspiring. And just know, Faith, that clicker, that was on me. The slide, that was on me. All good there, all good. All right, so the Association for Creatine Deficiencies, you are our third priority partner, and you're on the clock. Let's also welcome Brandon Spector, wide receiver from Clemson, to the stage to announce the next pick.
The Association for Creatine Deficiencies' mission is to promote and fund medical research for treatments and cures, provide patient, family, and public education, and advocate for early intervention through newborn screening for cerebral creatine deficiency syndromes.
All right, got that Clemson on. I see you.
Good evening, everyone. With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Association for Creatine Deficiency selects Dr. Stephen Baker from the University of Utah.
Wow. Dr. Baker has already had quite an impact in the creatine deficiencies field. The leader of the Association for Creatine Deficiencies described him as in the top 1% of researchers with regard to making it his mission to help patients, and said that finding him has brought a ray of hope to our community. I don't think you can say anything stronger than that, but there's more. He was the first author of a paper studying a different rare disease back in 2013 that was published in one of the top medical journals in the world, called Cell. Cerebral creatine deficiency syndromes are devastating genetic disorders affecting the central nervous system, causing intellectual disability, autism-like features, and epilepsy. Dr. Baker has developed interesting hypotheses about ways to overcome creatine deficiencies and will begin to investigate them through this grant. Given his success to date, I am so excited for what's to come.
Stephen has a great head of hair and a great smile, but you need to look past that and really see his body of work. He is super, super passionate about delivering solutions for kiddos who are suffering. Don't be surprised if you see him in the Pro Bowl or the All-Star game in a few years. The terrific combination of head and heart, I think, is super hard to beat. So I'll be rooting Steve on, and hopefully I can be his agent.
Yeah. You gotta put him in a uniform. Photos, all right. Some great hair on this stage. Head and Shoulders coming next. Okay.
That was too kind, Randy. Yeah, so thank you so much for this award. It's incredibly humbling. Normally I'm the nerdiest guy in the room, but I am especially the nerdiest guy in the room tonight with all these cool athletes. Thank you for not taking my lunch money. So I wanted to thank the Association of Creatine Deficiencies for all their support of our work. It's absolutely fundamental to getting the project going. So I wanted to thank Heidi Wallace, Dan Collar, Randy Allen, Laura Truti, and Faith Ochoa. And then also thank you for Uplifting Athletes for putting this organization together and this event together. So thank you, John and Scott, Amy Lund, and Andy Shea. So thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Baker. A round of applause. Say, that's a great head of hair they got going on. So as our fourth priority partner, the Neuromuscular Disease Foundation hits the clock. Let's clap for Emma Rosing, center midfielder for Lehigh University Soccer, who will join us tonight to announce the next pick.
The Neuromuscular Disease Foundation works to enhance the quality of life for those living with GNE myopathy by funding critical research focused on treatments and a cure through the International Gene Therapy Development Program and by advocacy, education, and outreach.
All right, Lehigh.
With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Neuromuscular Disease Foundation selects Dr. Kelly Crow from Xavier University.
I see a lot of potential in this pick. Fantastic job by the team at the Neuromuscular Disease Foundation for doing their homework. GNE myopathy is a rare disease that causes progressive muscle weakness due to defects in the GNE gene. There are currently no approved treatments. Dr. Crow's grant will support the initial development of a gene therapy program for GNE myopathy and determine the best biomarkers or tests to assess whether a gene therapy is working. This is a critical step for this field. Between her engagement with the patient community and leadership of the scientific community, I believe Dr. Crow is well positioned to make a major impact. Now, let's hear it from the draft team.
I think she's a real star for the future. I think she's a star now, but I think she has great opportunity. We were very lucky when she decided GNEM was the way to go. We're a rare disease, let's put it that way. And so having scientists who are involved and deeply committed in this space is really quite remarkable. And Kelly is exactly one of those.
All right. Yeah, all good, all good. All right.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Uplifting Athletes. Thank you to the Neuromuscular Disease Foundation for nominating me today. Thanks to Xavier University for supporting my work, and to the researchers in my lab who actually do all of the work. A huge thanks to them. And then finally to the GNE myopathy patient community, a really incredible group of people, and they're the reason why I do this today. So thank you so much.
Wow, that is great work, Dr. Crow. Amazing. All right, our fifth and final priority partner before the halftime event is on the clock. Let's clap for STXB1 Foundation. Will Millam, offensive lineman from Georgia Tech, will join me on the stage to announce the next pick.
STXBP1 Foundation is dedicated to finding a cure for STXBP1 disorders while improving the lives of their patients and families. They are focused on advocacy, driving research, building their community, and providing their families with information, resources, and support.
All right, my man Will. There he goes, okay. Oh yeah, swaggy. Hey.
Something like that. So without further ado, I'm proud to announce that the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, oh, this is the wrong one, hold on now. With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the STX B1, thank you, will select Dr. Alex Felix from the University of Pennsylvania, the Perelman School of Medicine.
All right.
Here's a pick that really caught my eye. STXBP1 is a severe, rare neurodevelopmental disorder involving epilepsy, developmental delay, cognitive impairment, movement disorders, and autism. Dr. Felix has led important work involving genetic therapy, specifically ASOs, for STXBP1 since joining the lab of his amazing mentor, Ben Prosser. Dr. Prosser has been pursuing research into STXBP1 in his lab at Penn since his daughter was diagnosed with this neurodevelopmental disorder in 2018. Highlighting his strong capabilities, Dr. Felix is the co-first author of a paper describing a similar treatment that was developed for a related disorder called SYNGAP1 that is currently undergoing revisions in a top-tier journal, Nature Communications, and has already resulted in a patent filing. His plan is sound, his team is excellent, and his background makes him well-positioned to drive forward progress for this devastating condition.
Dr. Felix is passionate, and he's also an innovator.
Obviously, we want to score a touchdown with this, and I think that Alex is kind of the perfect person to do that for us.
I am very excited that Dr. Felix is looking at a new approach to to therapies.
This is not a Hail Mary. This is a well thought out playbook that he's bringing to the table for us.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, what a fan base there, Dr. Felix.
Okay. First of all, thank you. I want to thank Uplifting Athletes for giving me this award. It's such an honor to be here tonight and be one of the draft picks. And also thank you for organizing this fantastic event. I also want to thank the STXBP1 Foundation for nominating me, and also my mentor, Dr. Ben Prosser, for supporting me. I feel very grateful for having the opportunity to work with such a talented team. And basically, we are trying to find effective therapies for these kids who are suffering from rare neurodevelopmental disorders. And finally, I want to thank my family and my girlfriend, who are always supporting me despite the distance. And I wouldn't be here without them. So thank you very much, and let's keep the party going.
Hey, you heard him. Let's keep the party going. Hey, this is how we do it. I hear y'all. Y'all turning here. Okay, so now I know I mentioned that we have a halftime, so you weren't expecting that from the previous years. Well, let's hit a timeout on the Young Investigator Draft and pivot to another group of outstanding people making a difference for those in our rare community. The 2022 Rare Disease Champion Team. Round of applause for them, yeah. Let's go. So yeah, these applauses are well-deserved for this group. If you aren't familiar with them, let me give you some background on this. The Rare Disease Champion Team was originally created in honor of Mark Herzlich, former Boston College and New York Giants linebacker, I know you can't say that too loud here either, who overcame a life-threatening and public battle with the rare disease Ewing sarcoma in 2009. This award originally honored those in college football who go above and beyond to raise awareness and support for those with rare diseases. Now, in its 14th year, the Rare Disease Champion Team welcomed its first football recipient and its first women's soccer recipient to a growing roster of members. There's so many epic moments going on here, y'all, with the National Girls and Women in Sports Day, Black History Month, the Super Bowl, the Young Investigator Draft. So round of applause, please, for all this epicness going on here. Amazing. So among today's honorees, we have 3 individuals who live with a rare disease and are constantly reimagining what it's like to be a student athlete who overcomes medical obstacles. A college football coach who doubles as a caregiver and assists his kids in leading a nonprofit that gives back to the community. How about that? And a chapter leader who has organized and rallied his team to raise over $54,000 in support of Uplifting Athletes' mission. Woo! How about that? But don't let me just tell you, as the team and general manager for Rare Disease of Sanofi, Dwayne Clark makes their way to the stage. Watch and see who makes up this remarkable team.
Across the country, leaders in college athletics are working to make a positive and lasting impact on people affected by rare diseases. From coast to coast, these 5 individuals epitomize what it means to be a rare disease champion. In the Bay Area, assistant football coach from the University of California, Aristotle Thompson, and his family are creating opportunities for others out of their own challenges.
Sarah called me and said that he was having a bunch of seizures again.
He had 100 grand mal seizures in a 12-hour time period.
In 2015, the Thompsons' 3-year-old son, Bryson, was diagnosed with a rare form of epilepsy.
I didn't know if I was going to make it home to see him alive again.
Our neurologist told us that he was going to have to wear a helmet, and our insurance denied it.
Determined to create change, Bryson and his older brother, Brock, started their own foundation, Helmets for Helmets, where the two work to provide protective medical equipment for kids in need. They do this through their Helmets for Helmets family, who donate autographed memorabilia for them to auction off in order to raise money.
So much, Mr. OBJ.
It's about breathing into somebody else, an opportunity for them to overcome a situation. So this really keeps us to the core of who we are and not get lost, if you will, in college football.
About 2,000 miles away in Iowa City, senior midfielder for the University of Iowa women's soccer team, Jenny Kate, finds a positive outlook and perspective through her battle with aplastic anemia.
My parents and my family were a really competitive and determined group. We don't give up. My dad, whenever I would say I can't do anything, he'd be like, what was that? And he'd sit me down and read me a poem titled Can't. Yes, you can. You don't give up. You keep going through it. I had this platform being in Division I athletics, and so being able to just kind of inspire hope and positivity and awareness for the people who don't feel like they have a voice otherwise. I saw firsthand how much of a difference doctors are able to make for their patients' lives. I just got into Medical College of Wisconsin, which is a school that's affiliated with where I was treated, Children's of Wisconsin, so that was kind of like full circle, and we'll see what happens.
Just a short drive into Illinois gets you to the town of Macomb, where punter for the Western Illinois football team, Max Blaschke, is forming his own path. After being diagnosed with a rare form of epilepsy at the age of 8, Max was told he wouldn't be able to play sports, go to college, or hold a job of his own.
Sports were huge for me growing up. It was the biggest motivation for me, but it was also like an outlet, being able to do the things that I was told I wasn't going to be able to do. And with those certain people that pushed me in and out of practice, I said I want this farther in my life because I think it's developing me at a higher pace than I thought. I've gotten through junior high, I've gone through high school, I've gone through NAI, and now I'm here at the Division I FCS level. I owe it to a lot of people in my life to be where I'm at today.
Into the state of Indiana and up to South Bend brings you to the home of Notre Dame, where linebacker and Uplifting Athletes chapter leader for the Fighting Irish, J.D. Bertrand, continues to be an advocate for people impacted by rare disease.
The biggest thing is just the smiles on the kids' faces, just seeing them have fun and just interacting with our team, and just also the smiles on our guys' faces. Like, it's not something we do every day, and sometimes you get into this, here's what we do and here's our schedule, and so just being able to get out of that routine, and I think that's one of the biggest things, just the ability to put everything else that's going on in our lives aside just to be able to have a time where we can just interact and have fun with these families. It's just an awesome opportunity to be able to impact people.
Down into the Tar Heel State, where in Chapel Hill, sophomore wide receiver for the University of North Carolina, Tylee Kraft, continues his stage 4 battle with a rare form of lung cancer. Almost a year into his fight, Tylee is determined to make his way back onto the field, finding strength in his family, friends, and teammates.
Mentally, it's like it drains you, so you're tired, but then again, it makes you wonder, like, why me? Why I gotta go through this? And playing football, you always have to be tough. Sort of say that they look at people as being tough guys. So it's my mom, football, and then my friends and family and supporters and everybody back home. And the children up here that I go visit at the hospital, they just all look at me as an inspiration, so I just can't let them down. You're not in it alone, so keep fighting, keep swinging, that's the main thing.
Good evening. I have the best job of the entire, sorry, man. I have the best job. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have the best job of the entire evening. I get to stand up here with the next generation of leaders. These are amazing, amazing people. And they're here tonight, so let's bring up the rare disease champions.
All right. Amazing.
such an amazing team. And my name is Dwayne Clark, and I was told when I looked at the agenda and the flow that I was halftime. And I'm thinking, I'm going to come up here, and everybody's going to be, where's Rihanna? Where's Chris Stapleton? Where's Baby? Even if you go in Philadelphia, you could have gotten like Pink. She's from here, you know, but you got me. And you're probably saying, who is this guy? And why is he up here? And why do we have to listen to him? Well, actually you don't, but it would be nice if you did. But so, you know, who am I? So if you look on social media, you know, I don't have a book, I don't have a podcast, I don't have much of a social media, you know, except you'll see pictures of my family. But what I have done for the last 30 years is I've had the opportunity to build successful teams and develop great leaders. And I can tell you the moments are really what matters. And there is no place that I would rather be at this moment than up on this stage on Saturday evening. Because I get to stand up here and see greatness. I get to see greatness. I get to look out in this audience and I see greatness. It's the next generation of leaders in this world. And that is really, really special. This group defines leadership, team, and kindness, which we can use more of in this world. You know, we're all blessed. We are all blessed with our strengths. We're blessed with our opportunities. We're blessed with our hurdles in life. But those that can harness that and focus it on a bigger issue, a bigger vision, inspire us all. And that is what these people give us. They inspire. They inspire. I truly believe that we're put on this planet to help each other succeed and to help each other rise above. And I think in order to do that, me personally, and I'll speak for myself, a few things have to occur. It's faith, family, hope, commitment, courage, confidence, and belief. And why do I say that? For me, faith gives me direction every day. Family is strength in the highs and lows. We have our family, it gives us strength. Hope is there's always a way. Commitment to a goal builds team, but it builds purpose and it builds meaning to help us move forward. And confidence in ourselves can grow, but the challenge is confidence in everybody around us and always staying positive and encouraging. And courage to use one's voice. Everybody up here has been so courageous to use your voice to help improve everybody around us and inspire everybody around them. Then I think there's one characteristic of every great leader. Every great leader, whether you're an individual contributor or you lead teams of many, and I see in this group, and that's belief. Belief that what you do can change the world, can have a positive impact on somebody's life. And that is pretty amazing. And when I read the stories and I watch the videos, that belief comes through. And Uplifting Athletes since 2009 has been given the opportunity to highlight this belief. So when I read the story, when I read JD's story, I said, man, you know, it was a mission, a faith-based mission that started with your mom and giving lunches to people who probably had the least and needed the most. And then the courage built to voice the opinion and bring others along on the journey. And then as a chapter president at Notre Dame, the bowling experience, the game day experience, the experience at Costco, the number of people that you have put smiles on their face and have changed their life, man, that's outstanding. JD, thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you do it. And congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm going to go down the line. When I had the chance to meet Coach in the lobby, and I think he came in and wasn't expecting it, but I was like in the corner. I was waiting. And when I think about your story, and I was reading your story, I thought about choices. We all have choices in life. And we have choices to do great things. We have choices to be neutral. And then we have other choices. And when your son needed the helmet and it was denied, and someone stepped up, a charity, local charity stepped up and gave that safety and gave the ability to live a healthy and safe life, you could have stopped. You could have said, hey, I'm going to go back, I'm going to coach football, I'm going to be a dad, I'm going to be a husband. But you didn't. You, your two sons, and your family stepped up and said, we're going to create a foundation and we're going to help other people so they never have to experience that. Imagine if everybody made that choice every single day. That's inspiring. And then I was reading an article, and it talked about a quote from Aristotle that you use. And I texted it to my son already. You are what you repeatedly do. Therefore, success is not an act, it's a habit. I love that. You impacted me today, so thank you so much. And thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you do it. And congratulations on being a rare disease champion. So Max, I met him. I met him in the lobby today too. I was just hanging out in the lobby. I was just waiting for people to come in. And when I read Max's story and listened to the video, what came to my mind is that people told you no. People said you can't. But you said, I can, I will, and I did it. A dream of being a Division I athlete. The strength and determination and the commitment to that goal sets an example and inspires everybody around you, and all the work that you've done to inspire so many people. But then I think there's a second chapter, and something that really, for me personally, was moving. And that in life, at every moment, in the hallway, at the water cooler, at the bar, in the gym, at work, we have the opportunity to have a positive impact and to lift somebody up. It's that smile, it's that encouragement, it's that kind word. And Coach Kill, in the bistro, what an example of how one moment in time, it's the moments that really, really matter, will have such a positive impact. And Max carries that story forward. So Max, thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you do it, and congratulations on being a rare disease champion. Hi, Jenny. So I met Jenny a while ago, and actually I was on the tour with your dad. He had more fun than anybody else on that tour. Anybody else, he had more fun. And you know, Jenny, when I read your story, what really struck me is that, you know, through multiple bone marrow transplants, you never gave up. One of your quotes in the video was that even through the tough times, you wanted to be a teammate. You wanted to inspire those around you. And then your mother said, at one of those tough times, you used to study for the MCAT. That's the definition of strength. That's the definition of commitment. And somewhere along the line, seeds of greatness we're planning again. And Jenny, as you saw in the video, will be going to medical school. And actually, I understand it's Wisconsin, which you kicked the winning field goal, and now you're going to go, goal, sorry. You kicked the winning goal, and now you're going to go there to medical school. And what I think is just amazing is that how through your life you have chosen to help others and help others rise above. And I think you're going to be an incredible healthcare professional with your authenticity, with your kindness, and your understanding. So Jenny, thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you do it, and congratulations on being a rare disease champion. So Ty Lee could not be with us here today, but when you see and hear his story, it's a story of faith, it's a story of family, and it's a story of hope. On Ty Lee, on his shoulder is faith, and that has helped him and given him direction and strength. His family has surrounded him, not just his parents, his mother, but also his athletic family has surrounded him to give him strength. And it's hope. What I love about what Ty Lee says is that, you know, no matter what, he wants to inspire people. And he says, keep swinging hard, and never give up. Imagine if every day we got up in the morning and said, we're going to keep swinging and we're never going to give up. That is faith, that is family, that is hope. And, you know, when I see hashtag Ty Lee Strong, I can tell you he is the definition of strength. If you look now on my notepad that I use every day that's sitting on my desk, it says hashtag Ty Lee Strong, because that is what strength is about. And what I love about his family, we have two of his teammates that are somewhere, Connor and Elijah, that are here to represent Ty Lee. And could you stand up?
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
That's family. That's family. So one more big round of applause for the rare disease champions. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Great smiles all around there. Thank you, Dwayne. And thank you, Sanofi, for sponsoring the 2022 Rare Disease Champion Team. That's great there. So we're in the presence of greatness tonight. If you couldn't tell there, sports provides an opportunity and a platform. But it's people, the people are the ones that make it happen. So that's amazing there. So if you're feeling like making some magic happen tonight, people here in this room, I would encourage you to support Uplifting Athletes by making a donation at upliftingathletes.org or finding that dip jar that's been circulating around at cocktail hour. So I know our team would appreciate some love and generosity that you could donate there. So now I know the anticipation's been bubbling a little bit, right? It's halftime here. So can I get a round of applause for our next 5 researchers, please? Yeah. I am hyped to announce that the Young Investigator Draft is back open. All right. Back open, ready to roll. Isaac Vance, wide receiver from Kent State, would join us tonight to announce our next pick. And our 6th priority partner is on the clock. Tango 2 Research Foundation, take it away.
The Tango 2 Research Foundation's mission is to lead the way in finding a cure for Tango 2 related disease. They will do this by helping to fund, coordinate, and guide scientific research that leads to a better understanding of how Tango 2 mutations affect people at the most basic cellular and biochemical pathway levels.
All right, Isaac, looking clean. Wow.
With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Tango 2 Research Foundation selects Dr. Nishanti Madhya-Logan from the Brigham and Women's Hospital and Harvard Medical School.
All right.
This is a big-time pick. Dr. Madhya-Logan studies Tango 2 deficiency disorder, a rare disorder that affects brain and heart development. Sadly, 20% of children will not make it to their 18th birthday. But let me tell you what gets me excited about the potential impact Dr. Madhya-Logan can have on this disease and rare disease research more generally. Dr. Madhya-Logan's work involves both developing animal models of Tango 2 to identify novel treatment strategies and also ensuring that patients from diverse racial backgrounds are included in rare disease research. This kind of a dual role is critical as we fight back against rare diseases around the world. And I'm not the only one excited about this pick.
We are very excited to have nominated her for this award because she is a very talented researcher and very personable, and she's exactly the type of person that we want to join our network. That just fills you with hope that treatments and a cure are a reality, will be a reality, and that we hope that those things can be realized sooner rather than later.
All right. Give it up for Doc. Looking great, looking great. Amazing.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank Uplifting Athletes for recognizing my research and presenting me with this prestigious grant. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the Tango 2 Research Foundation, to my principal investigator, Dr. Vandana Gupta, my friends and family. This grant funding will help me identify the potential gene regulatory network underlying the Tango 2 related disorder, and also come up with novel therapeutic options for the disease treatment and management. Thank you so much.
All right. Give it up for Dr. Madhya-Logan. Congratulations. And he might have the sharpest suit I've seen tonight. I mean, that's a fly suit there. All right, so our seventh priority partner is on the clock. That's you, Castleman Disease Collaborative Network. Abby Brown, midfielder from Lehigh University, field hockey, will join us on the stage to announce the next pick.
The Castleman Disease Collaborative Network is a global initiative dedicated to accelerating research and treatment for Castleman disease to improve survival for all patients with CD. They work to achieve this by facilitating collaboration among the global research community, mobilizing resources, strategically investing in high-impact research, and supporting patients and their loved ones.
All right, Abby.
With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Castleman Disease Collaborative Network selects Dr. Melanie Mumau from the Perlman School of Medicine, University of Pennsylvania.
I've had a lot of time to evaluate this draft pick, and I may be a bit biased, but I can tell you she's one of the best out there and one of the most outstanding scientists that I've had the opportunity to work with. Castleman disease is a rare and deadly condition involving hyperactivation of the immune system that leads to potentially life-threatening dysfunction of the liver, kidneys, and bone marrow. Though progress has been made to understand the mechanisms involved in Castleman disease to identify promising new treatment approaches, more work is needed to better understand what is happening within Castleman disease patients' immune systems, and Dr. Mumau's experiences and skill sets as an experimental and translational immunologist make her well-positioned to unlock the unknowns of this disease, and she already has. And I'm not the only one excited about this pick.
What makes Melanie such a great investigator and great researcher is that she's not only
always looking to answer questions, but she's looking to ask more questions that she can then answer. She's going to be able to track down the cell types that are really involved in IMCD, and she's going to be able to help lead this forward. And I really see in the future with Melanie's leadership and her research that we will understand the cause and the pathogenesis of IMCD.
Dr. Mumau will continue to utilize cutting-edge laboratory studies to better understand what various immune cell populations are doing and how they may be contributing to the disease, which will help to identify better treatments for patients. As Dr. Mumau's colleague and mentor, I feel confident she'll make progress towards better understanding Castleman disease for patients like me and many more.
All right, give it up for Doc. Dr. Mumau might be Mr. Feigenbaum's favorite researcher here. I see him taking pictures up front.
Yeah, thanks, David. No, but first and foremost, just want to thank the Uplifting Athletes community, and especially to all the hardworking students out there. Couldn't be here without you, so thank you so much. Also to our partnering foundation, the Castleman Disease Collaborative Network. Through them, obviously, thank you so much for nominating me, but I've also really been able to meet a ton of patients, and we have the best patient community, which really motivates me and all of us on our team. Also want to thank the lab. I think this year we're really poised to make a lot of new discoveries, of course, with the help of this funding that I got with this award. And really the award is dedicated to them because they're really, truly amazing. So thank you, and I'm ready to get to work.
All right. Dr. Mumau. Shout out to the lab. Shout out to the lab. Dr. Feigenbaum, the lab. Amazing. So the night is winding down a little bit, y'all. So time's flying by here. But I'm excited to announce our 8th party partner, the Grin2B Foundation, is now on the clock. Christo Kelly, offensive lineman from Holy Cross, will join us tonight to announce the next pick.
The Grin2B Foundation is a parent-run organization dedicated to furthering research on the Grin2B gene and providing support and education to the small but growing community of individuals and families impacted by a Grin2B diagnosis.
All right.
What a group we got here. Just a bunch of winners. With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Grin2B Foundation selects Dr. Riley Perzik from Emory University.
All right.
I love this pick because of the fit. This researcher and this organization really have a chance to do something special. Dr. Perzik has a background in engineering and a long-standing interest in an important receptor in the brain called NMDA. He's applied his background and interest to a rare disease involving the NMDA receptor called Grin2B. Dr. Perzik's work will seek to better understand the function of certain variants in this gene, with an eye towards identifying potential new treatments. His lead author publication in Nature Chemical Biology, which is one of the top scientific journals in his entire field, is a testament to his scientific prowess. His lab also works very closely with the patient community, and I expect rapid progress to be made through Dr. Perzik's work. But don't just take my word for it, let's hear what the experts have to say.
We drafted Dr. Perzik because he has been incredibly committed to our disorder for his entire scientific career, and this entire lab is very devoted to our disorder and has contributed greatly to the field of Grin2B research. Riley is going to take us to the next level of moving forward and getting us closer to treatments.
All right, Dr. Perzik. Come on up here. You handsome young man. Photos to the left. There you go. Nice. All right, Doc.
All right, thank you. Thank you to Uplifting Athletes and the Grin2B Foundation for partnering to support my work.
I wish every grant proposal that gets funded would be celebrated like this. It would be wonderful. So I'd also like to thank my family. Some of them are here today, and I'm very, very happy and wonderfully thankful that they're here. But especially to my parents, who are a gen ed pediatrician and a pediatric hospice nurse. And they really got me motivated and inspired to do work in this kind of field. And I just hope that these funds will help us better understand GRIN2B variants and how they lead to developmental delay, epilepsy, and autism. So thank you.
All right. Dr. Perzik, a family of doctors. That's amazing. Okay, here, we're winding down. Team Telomere, your 9th priority partner. The clock is starting. And welcome to the stage, Will Sissom, offensive lineman at Georgia Tech, to announce the next pick.
Team Telomere's mission is to provide information and support services to families worldwide affected by dyskeratosis congenita and telomere biology disorders, to encourage the medical community's research in finding causes and effective treatments, and to facilitate improved diagnosis by educating medical providers.
All right, Will. Yeah, there he goes.
With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, Team Telomere selects Dr. Christopher Sandy from the Perelman School of Medicine, University of Pennsylvania.
There's a whole lot to like about this pick for Team Telomere. Dr. Sandy studies telomere biology disorders, or TBDs, in the lab of Dr. Daria Babashak, an incredible leader in this field and now mentor to a second Young Investigator Draft pick. Patients with TBDs have a wide range of challenges, from low blood counts to increased risk of cancer. His team has found genetic changes that could explain the increased cancer risk and potentially point to a new treatment approach. Dr. Sandy's work will involve novel single-cell sequencing techniques and testing this new treatment approach on cells in the laboratory. I am really excited to see the impact that will be made from this work. Now, let's hear it from the draft team.
Inspiring just to see somebody active, somebody engaged, and somebody as excited as we are about helping patients that really do, fly under the radar sometimes. I think it's important to pay attention to who's paying attention. And so if we can highlight him and we can amplify him, and that helps to in turn amplify our patients, I just think that's so special. And so I'm very excited to work alongside Chris. I think he's just going to do fantastic in the future.
All right, Dr. Sandy. Picture time.
Man, thank you so much. I can honestly say I've never been a part of an event quite like this. This is really exciting. So thank you to Uplifting Athletes. It's been really inspiring to see so many people here brought together in support of rare disease research. Just incredible. Thank you to Team Telomere. I'm really excited to see what we do with this award. I think we're going to find some really exciting things. I would be nothing without the people who support me in my life, so I want to thank my mentor, Dr. Daria Babashak. It's been a pleasure being a part of your lab, and it's been one of the most rewarding parts of my life. Thank you to Carlos, who's videotaping me, and who's been there through thick and thin for the past 12 years. And finally, thank you to the patients and their families. This wouldn't be possible without you, so thank you very much.
All right. Congratulations to Dr. Sandy and Team Telomere. It's a great draft pick, y'all. So we're down to our 10th and final priority partner. Last but not certainly least, Friedrichs Alexia Research Alliance. You are on the clock. Let's welcome Dante Perry, quarterback at Lehigh University, to the stage to announce our next draft pick.
The Friedrichs Ataxia Research Alliance's mission is to marshal and focus the resources and relationships needed to cure FA by raising funds for research, promoting public awareness, and aligning scientists, patients, clinicians, government agencies, pharmaceutical companies, and other organizations dedicated to curing FA and related diseases.
Tay.
With our pick in the 2023 Uplifting Athletes Young Investigator Draft, the Friedrichs Ataxia Research Alliance selects Dr. Anna Stepanova from Brain and Mind Research Institute, Weill Cornell Medical College.
All right.
The talent level in this draft class is just unbelievable, and Dr. Stepanova stands up with the best of them. Friedreich's ataxia is a rare genetic disease involving progressive loss of coordination and muscle strength. Like me and so many others, Dr. Stepanova was inspired by Friedreich's ataxia warrior Kyle Bryant and his incredible work to shift into high gear, as Kyle would say, and take down this disease. She wants to use her background in biochemistry to understand the underlying problems in FA to identify more effective treatments. She plans to do this by deeply investigating model cell lines in the laboratory. I expect the results of this research to provide important insights into FA.
She is the embodiment, I think, of a young investigator that we want to support. She was invited by a colleague. She met for several families and was so taken by, excuse me, geez, I'm getting emotional. She is in it for the right reasons. She's in it for the community, for the people. And she knows that she can make an impact by putting herself into the community and her heart into her work because she knows it's going to affect other people's lives.
Wow. Impactful stuff. Dr. Stepanova.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me today. Tonight's event is a marriage between sports and science, and one bike ride changed my career path. Ride Ataxia Philly moved me to study Friedreich's ataxia. I'm here today because Kyle Bryant inspired me, and Farah showed me a place where I belong. Being a rare disease researcher fuels my core values, curiosity and compassion. My grandma, the most compassionate person I've ever met, would be proud of me today. This award will help me find how we can tackle cardiomyopathy in FA. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Stepanova. How about an applause for the uplifting athletes who put this event on, y'all? One more round of applause. We're clapping all night. We're clapping all night. Congratulations. So our teams are finally drafted, and I'm excited to stand by with you all. There's no one way to change the future but to take the first step here, and I feel like we accomplished that tonight. So as you make your way back downstairs, collect your things, please feel free to stop by the Uplifting Athletes table on level 2 and pick up some swag. If you're the winner of the silent auction item, please stop by the silent auction area to pick up your prize. As you all travel back home, be well, do well, and know that your team will be right here. Excited to see you guys for next year's Young Investigator Draft. How about one last round of applause for everybody? It's been a pleasure hosting you all tonight as your MC. I thank you, we love you, and I'll turn things back over to Rob Long.
Thank you all so much for being here. Absolutely incredible. Thank you all. This is an absolute blessing, and just incredibly grateful for all of you showing up, taking your time. I know time's the most precious thing that we have on this earth, and the fact that you all showed up here to spend that time with us means the world. So thank you all. Stay warm. Have a great night, and we'll see you again next year. Thank you.